We opened this place to help people, to provide free health care.
That guy getting dumped in front of the clinic is going to make people skittish?
Obviously, we want to help with the investigation in any way possible.
I appreciate you coming down here early. It's important that we go over what you saw last night, because any detail that you might remember might help us track down Logan Hayes' killer.
What happened?
Do you work here?
I do. Dr. Matt Hunter.
A man was murdered last night and his body was dumped here.
Do you know him?
I met him once, that's all.
And what was your connection with Logan Hayes?
I was on the Elm Street pier yesterday when this guy came up and asked me how it was working at the clinic.
Just like that? Out of the blue?
I'd never laid eyes on him before.
What time was it?
I just left here and I was on my way to the hospital, so about 1.
What did he want?
He never said. Before we had a chance to speak, his girlfriend came up and they got into it.
Is her name Lulu Spencer?
No, it was Maxie. The extent of the conversation, she called him a loser, he called her a slut, and a few other choice words. I told him I didn't appreciate him speaking to a woman like that, and then he took off.
So how would you describe Mr. Hayes' emotional state?
Combative. Basically, seemed like he was spoiling for a fight.
Well, we ran a trace on the partial license plate that Nadine was able to provide for us.
Was it any help at all?
Well, that license plate with those same letters happened to be registered to a Malcolm Dodge.
Who's that? Who's Malcolm Dodge?
Malcolm Dodge was someone supposedly Jason Morgan killed 6 months ago.
Do you think Jason did this?
Well, he is on our suspect list, but I believe it's one of zaccharas.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I mean, Lulu told me that Logan worked as some sort of a personal attendant to the zaccharas. Maybe he heard or saw something he shouldn't.
So what happens now?
Well, if you can ID the make and model of the car, that can provide us with a little bit more information. We can get a warrant and make a search.
Okay.
And see.
Well, hold on. She's already told you everything that she knows. Can't you just let her go home?
I'm in a position to help the police find out who did this.
You did help. You gave him the partial license plate. That's all you know.
Yeah, well, I also got a good look at the car, and maybe I can figure out the make and
Lucky,
model.
would you please tell her that she doesn't know what she's getting herself into and tell her to go home?
You don't speak for me.
Nadine, if you implicate any one of the zaccharas in this, they will come find you and shut you up. You understand?
We will not let that happen.
Lucky, you say that, but you know it's not true. They couldn't protect Michael Corinthos. They couldn't protect Emily. Come on.
Okay, so now the cops are to blame?
No, that's not. Look, it's not about blame. Okay, I just don't want to put her life at risk. That's all.
But I'm a witness. A man was killed.
Nadine, a man who worked for the mob, a man who chose a violent lifestyle.
What he deserved?
Well, it's not worth dying for. You're a fool if you get any more involved in this.
Yeah, well, I'd be a coward if I didn't get involved. I mean, if I run away scared now, I'll be helping someone get away with murder. And I'm not going to let the zaccharas or anyone else keep me from doing what I know is right.
Okay. When you were talking to Logan Hayes, did he happen to mention anything about Jason Morgan or Anthony Zacchara?
Like I said, it wasn't much of a conversation. I know the guy from Adam, and he came up to me and asked me how I liked working at the clinic. I got maybe 2 sentences out before Maxie comes up, and they got into it. They were at each other's throats.
There.
I heard what happened.
And what you've come to offer your support.
Excuse me.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I met with the guy who arranged the counterfeit drugs, but there's been a glitch. Yeah, well, before I could arrange the buy, he turned up dead. Yeah. Yeah, well, just have to move on to plan B.
So first, you give away bad meds, and now a murder victim turns up at your doorstep.
I know. It seems as though someone is deliberately trying to sabotage the clinic.
Number 2, take your hat off. Okay, now, take your time. It's important to get it right. The car you saw last night, the one that Logan's body was dumped out of.
Were any of these men driving it?